Hey y'all.
Hey.
So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of our favorite things, and that is travel. Now, the crazy part about travel is that we actually do it a lot, but our ideas of like what's a vacation are quite different.
There's a whole lot of conversation going on in that case right there. One of us likes to travel, kind of be relaxed and laid back, whereas the other wants to do crazy things and jump off of cliffs. So the question today is, how in the world can you plan your dream vacation when you have somebody with you that doesn't know how to vacation well?
We'll find out who actually knows how to vacation. Join us for Conversations at the Well.
We'll see you there. Before we get started with our next episode, I want to encourage you, if you're watching us on YouTube, to go down to the little thumbs up button, like the video, and get subscribed so you get notifications whenever we drop new content. Also, if you are joining in with us on Facebook or on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, make sure that you're subscribed there. Leave a 5-star review as well as drop a comment so we know that you are listening. All right, welcome back to Conversations at the Well. My name is Vernon Brown.
And I'm Desiree Brown.
And today we are talking about, we said our favorite thing, but I really think it's her favorite thing, which is what?
Traveling.
Let me let you in on a little secret. So when we first got married, everybody talks about the things that the wife's supposed to do, go out and shop all the time and spend all of this money. My wife isn't a shopper.
Nope.
She's not putting on a bunch of makeup all the time.
Nope.
None of those things. But I tell you, traveling is her non-negotiable.
Yeah, absolutely. So it came up. So we were putting together our budget. That would be another topic for another day.
We need to talk about budget.
Yeah.
How do you budget for a wife? Because
we were so funny. We were trying to figure out where our money should go because we were trying to like pay down some things and, you know.
And I'm trying to be a good steward. So I'm like, okay, we need to save this. Cause I wasn't a good saver, but she was teaching me how to save. So I was like, we're going to save all of this and set all this aside. And she took her little thumb and went down the budget and said, where is travel?
It was at $0. And I was like, oh, this is not a budget that works for me. So we had to figure that out. Ultimately, I conceded because the whole purpose was to be able to pay off one of our cars. So the car's paid off now, and now we can go.
Now, let me give you the real. She said it all nice and dignified, but she was not nice and dignified at that time. She was hot when I took, because we used to have a travel budget, like a specific amount of money that we set aside for travel every month. And the idea was we had a goal of paying off one of the cars. And so I was like, well, we can get it paid off much more quickly if we just do away with this little thing here. And she hit the roof, y'all.
I mean, he was taking away my food and water. So I didn't feel appreciated in that moment, but
which in hindsight makes a little bit more sense because, like I said, she doesn't shop, she doesn't do a lot of other stuff. Traveling is her thing.
That's my thing.
But in the moment, I was expecting good job, husband, for trying to blaze a path for our family.
What'd you get instead?
I got slapped in the head. Not even. But anyways, today we're talking about vacationing, and one of the things that we've learned through our marriage and through the vacations that we've taken is, although we love to vacation together, vacationing and how each one of us perceives it or would want to do it looks completely different.
Or maybe not so different. We'll talk about that. We'll figure out. We might have some more common ground than we think,
I don't
right?
like your vacations.
Well, let's figure this out.
All right.
Okay, so Vernon Brown Jr. Tell the people, when you think of the word vacation and you kind of have in your mind what vacation is, what kind of activities does that entail?
So my perfect vacation, the vacation I would want, has a few things.
Okay.
Number one, it has some lounging, but lounging for me is not out on the beach in a hot sun baking like a fish in grease.
Okay.
No. Lounging for me is looking at the beach from my balcony with the doors open and the air conditioning blasting on my back.
Okay.
And then maybe I have my laptop doing some work. Maybe I have a book or something
reading.
That? What?
Laptop doing some work. Is that vacation?
Yeah, it's vacation because it's what I choose to do. Vacation for me is being able to do whatever I want to do, not what I have to do. So if I choose to want to work on a website or, write out something or even look at a business plan, that's what I want to do. And so I want to do that.
Okay. Keep going.
Now, let me tell y'all, this has been a sore spot for us because she'll walk in and be like, why are you on your laptop? You need to get off your laptop and stop doing this, that, and the third. But it's like, That's how I vacation.
Like our whole marriage, it's been a thing. Our honeymoon, this man brought his laptop.
Yeah, and I enjoyed our honeymoon. But what I don't understand, I'm about to start sweating here. What I don't understand is why can't I have a laptop, but you can read a book?
I mean,
like I think it's
you
different.
can read a book too.
You want me to vacation your way, which is completely wrong.
Okay.
Anyway, so
tell us more about your vacation.
I'm on the balcony, relaxing with my laptop and strong Wi-Fi. Thank you very much.
So no remote places for you.
Well, remote can have Wi-Fi. Starlink, they got internet everywhere.
So you're gonna
yes, it needs Wi-Fi.
Satellite.
It needs Wi-Fi.
Satellite.
Non-negotiable.
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So part of it's going to be relaxing on a balcony overlooking some water. I think that's probably the first 25% maybe. The next 50% will be doing activities. Like, I want to go see some cool stuff. I want to do some hiking. I want to do some like jumping off of stuff.
What's cool stuff? So you said you want to see cool stuff. So what kind of stuff do you like to see?
So like when we went to Mexico, we saw Chichen Itza. Like the little pyramids they had there, seeing that kind of thing.
So you like historical things?
Historical, but not the way you like it. Like you want to read and sit still and watch and... I don't know. I just want to look at it and be like, that's cool. Get a good picture and it keep moving. But you want to stop and linger and
then
read.
You come back and you're like, I don't even know what that was. Delete.
That's what Google is for.
Come on. Okay.
I want to see things. I don't necessarily want to read about them.
Okay, go ahead.
Or we can have a tour guide. A tour guide can walk us through and tell us all the stuff we need to know.
Okay, as long as no reading is involved. It sounds like you have you do not want to read at all. You don't want to read a book. You don't want to read a sign at the museum.
I don't like where this is going. Anyway, so tour guide, that's a good happy medium. I can learn, but I don't got to sit there and sit still and read. Okay. Sit in that. I want to do some like fun stuff, like maybe what do we do in the lake? When we went down the river in the tubes, what's that called? Rafting.
Oh, whitewater rafting. Okay.
Kayaking. Because canoeing is heavy. Like it takes a lot of work. But kayaking, stuff like that's fun. Yeah. So that'll be about 50%. And then the remaining 25% would probably be like experience like food and culture. So like getting away from the touristy spots and seeing what it's really like to live in these particular towns. Yeah. And like getting to know people. I would love, like one thing that's on my bucket list is I want to vacation in a place long enough to pick up the language. Yeah. And I think that's just a completely different way to look at it, whereas you're not a tourist anymore, but you're actually living and enjoying and seeing what it's like to live here. One of my favorite trips, which you hate, is our trip to Barcelona. And that was my favorite trip because we got an Airbnb. We were away from all the tourist traps and we were just in the town hanging out with people, kids running in the middle of the night. It was really cool.
Barcelona was cool. And I did not dislike the trip because of Barcelona. It was our ideas on how that vacation should go and the disagreement that arose. We argued
the whole time because she wouldn't listen to me. And I don't even remember what the argument was about.
I remember.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need to talk about that. It's probably about me.
No. It was not. It's kind of weird when you think about it because I wanted to plan out some things like, okay, we're going to go here and there, whatever. Yeah. And you were like, no, we're on vacation. Let's just like go. And I'm like... It was a huge departure from what you usually
She presented me with a 20-page, 9-point, dissected by 15-minute increments plan.
That's not even me.
And I was like, let's just flow.
Usually that's me. We switch places and I didn't like it. I'm like, let's just go. I mean, we just might run into something that's my way.
A huge argument. But for me, I compartmentalized. So we argued, but Barcelona was beautiful and amazing and like my favorite place on earth other than Rome.
We maybe need to redo Barcelona because right now it's not. I
enjoyed Barcelona. It was great for me.
Okay, we're going to redo it so you can go back to one of your favorite places and I can maybe make it mine. Okay. So we can add that to our list of places.
We need to because I enjoyed it. I love it. The only other things I would probably add is I think I'm about 60% sure that my perfect vacation would be with a bunch of friends that they're not staying in the same house with us. Like they got other houses somewhere else. But we gotta come together and hang out, like eat, talk, and then go on our own merry way.
Maybe share some of the experiences.
Yeah, like that. I think I added up to 100%, maybe like 5% at a time. Like doing some of those fun outgoing activities with them versus random people. Because some of our trips we've taken with like tour groups. They were cool, but they weren't like us in a lot of different ways. So being able to travel with a group of friends, I think would be really cool. And there are no kids on any of my fun vacations. That's my vacation. Tell us about what it looks like for you.
Okay, for me.
Are there kids? Because if so, I'm exiting.
Dream
stage
vacation?
left.
No,
Okay.
not on the dream vacation. Maybe when they're like adults. I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I love them,
Maybe when
but
they're 30.
it's a whole. It's not a vacation when
No,
they're there.
no.
It's just we're parenting in another city. So let's see. My dream vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because you mentioned water, like you meant, which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I've been thinking about this, like, is it ocean or is it mountains? Like, I do love the ocean.
We haven't done a lot of mountain stuff.
We haven't, but I remember when we went to Breckenridge in Colorado.
And north of Denver, right?
I don't know. It's close to Denver.
Okay.
I don't know if it's north.
Denver.
I just don't know if it's north. But anyway, we flew into Denver, and we went to Breckenridge. We were going skiing and snowboarding. That's okay. I almost died, guys, but we stick the snowshoeing.
Skiing is not your thing. It's not your thing.
To be.
I married her because she's cute, y'all. Not because she's coordinated. So you know, what's the song?
What?
George.
Oh,
George.
stop.
Y'all go watch out for that tree.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was literally looking at the tree. They said, don't look at the tree.
She looked at the tree.
I looked at the tree.
Became very well acquainted with the tree.
It was, I know that tree far too well. Okay.
I wonder if I got videos of that.
I hope not.
That'd be cool to post. Anyways, keep going.
Anyway, so
mountains or ocean?
Yeah. Okay. So warm weather. I'm gonna go with the warm weather option because I think you can do more activities I like to do. So yes, ocean is involved or a lake. I think.
Okay.
As long as it's like has some type of movement in there. I don't want to be in no swamp. That's for sure. No swamps and a pool is not enough. Okay. So
what's the big lake in Atlanta or north of Atlanta? Is that the lake you want to go to?
No.
Oh. Okay.
All my Georgia natives know what I'm talking about. We don't go there.
We don't go there?
We
Okay.
don't go there.
All right.
Yeah. So, but I think ocean is probably the best.
Okay.
Ocean.
Clear ocean, dirty ocean.
Oh, absolutely clear.
Okay.
Clear. I love the Gulf area, like near where we are, and
Between Texas and Florida.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's where the Gulf is, but that water tends to be clearer to me than the Atlantic, and then definitely the Caribbean is just like amazing. Okay. So, and I prefer warm weather. I don't mind being a little hot because you're miserable in the heat, but I enjoy it. Not terribly hot, but where I can wear, some nice little sundresses or maybe some shorts, tanks, that kind of thing. I actually, believe it or not, I don't like baking in the sun.
Yes, you do.
No, I can,
I've
but
been to the beach with you. You like baking in the sun.
But it's always like covered. There's like a canopy of sorts.
It's still hot.
That's fine. I said I could deal with heat, but I don't want to be direct sun. So we need to have a canopy. It
You
needs
don't
to
want
have
to bake. You want to be cooked rotisserie style.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more enjoyable. And I actually sunburn, so
Indirect heat on a spit. Got it.
Nice warm weather, nice warm breeze is coming through. I got my book and I got my Bob Marley playlist. It's like a thing for me. Like
The first time I went on vacation with this woman and she sat there and listened to Bob Marley the whole time.
That is vacation
and
for
I just
me.
knew it would be a matter of time before she lit something. She never did. I was just like, I was so baffled, but I never thought you would like Bob Marley.
It puts me in vacation mode. Like that's like the soundtrack for like just
while you're spinning rotisserie style in an oven.
No, I'm sitting reading my book in the shaded heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a tangible page book or is this like an ebook reader? That's similar to a laptop.
No, actually my preference is a good old hard book that turns pages. That's my preference. But if I can't have that, or if it's just too much to carry, I'll get my Kindle paper Watt.
Oh, a Kindle.
That does not ding. It does not ring. That's why I like it.
A Kindle, kind of like a tablet or laptop, huh? I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's my Kindle e-reader. Thank you. Tablet, yes, but not a laptop. And I ain't working. That's for sure.
It's not work if you enjoy it.
So I might get a little leisure book going on, and sometimes I find myself reading self-help books.
Sounds like work to me.
Sounds like work, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm like trying to cut that out. I don't want no help on vacation.
All right, so we talked about ocean, maybe mountains, but ocean.
Yeah,
we talked about
that's
on
the
beach,
place. That's
baking, eating, drinking.
That's the temperature.
Not eating or drinking a book, but reading a book.
Yeah, maybe a nice drink, maybe a frozen drink or something, or some water because it's hot.
Because you got there baking, yeah.
Actually, I don't prefer to drink alcohol when I'm like baking because it makes you feel.
So, what kind of activities, if anything?
Dizzy. I said dizzy. What kind of activities? Mostly lounging.
Okay.
So that's like what I like to do the most.
Outside baking.
Okay. And I love snorkeling.
Okay.
I love I like water activities. Snorkeling. I like jet skiing. I like parasailing.
So we went snorkeling. Was that our honeymoon?
Yes.
We went snorkeling on our honeymoon.
After I got him off the laptop.
And I had some vision of what snorkeling was like. But so she plans this whole snorkeling adventure, and I'm excited because my wife is planning something for me. We're going to go snorkel the reefs. And I don't know what I thought. But this man brought me on a boat, me and my wife, and then he just drove in the boat. And drove. And when I looked up again, there was no land to be seen. We were in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on the equator, from all I know. Just in the water. And then he gonna tell me, get out the boat.
And what's so funny to me is like I have zero fear of that. Like I am like, this is great.
In the ocean.
Where else are you gonna snorkel?
I thought it would just be offshore. Like, there's like 5 feet and then the other part.
I'm glad I got to introduce you to some new things because that you can snorkel.
I was so scared, y'all.
There are some, but they took us to like the bigger reefs so we could see all the fish.
And then last story time.
Did you enjoy it? No,
I did. I really enjoyed it. And I got some really good video from it.
Yeah.
But last story time, we're on a honeymoon once again. I think maybe this was honeymoon. I don't remember. They're all running together. But we're in Mexico. We're somewhere, and they have what's called a cenote. Which is like a huge natural hole in the earth of water, right?
It's a natural pool.
A natural pool.
Yeah.
And so we're walking to this cenote. And was this honeymoon?
Honeymoon.
This is on the honeymoon, right? So we just got married.
I think.
And I'm bringing my wife to the cenote, and she wants to get in, which is usually fine. But I look on the wall, and it says 347 feet deep.
Was it the number?
It was somewhere around. It was a lot. It was more than 200. And she wants to get in this hole where you can't see the bottom. And I'm just like, what happens if something happened to you? Now I got to endanger my life because you want to go swim in the cenote when we got a pool at the hotel.
Let's give context here. Okay. Were there life jackets?
So you didn't want to wear a life jacket, did you?
I did wear a life jacket.
But did you want to, or did I make you?
Probably made me. But I'm like, I could swim like what
if something grabbed her? Then I got to jump in.
he was like the Loch Ness monster.
I cannot go back to Atlanta without this woman and tell her daddy that I left her in the cenote. So I got to either jump in and save her or just never come back to the States.
Well, I had on a life jacket.
You put me in that situation.
And I enjoyed myself.
Anyways.
Meanwhile, you're over there panicking. I had a great time. So yeah, I like adventure.
40 feet.
So here's the thing. But let's talk about your adventure.
This ain't about me. This is about you.
Our very, very first trip.
I'm trying to remember where you're going. What trip?
We went to Las Vegas.
Okay.
And there's a thing in Vegas.
Seattle Space Needle. It's supposed to be
it's kind of like that. And there were people jumping off this thing. And he said, babe, do it with me. And I politely declined because I don't jump off of buildings.
Although she jumps out of planes.
I have done that, and that was crazy. But I enjoyed it, but I'm never doing it again.
That was before she met me and got some sense.
Yeah, well, you jumped off a building.
But it was all harnessed and stuff. It was safe.
Again, you jumped off a building. That is not my idea of fun. But I do like adventure things. I don't like heights, so that's not my thing. If it's high up, except for parasailing, because I feel like I'm floating, not falling. Like if I feel like I'm falling, I'm not about that
life.
life.
Never try parasailing.
Really?
It's like just ocean. Me and the ocean? Nah, bruh.
Me and the ocean are friends. So yeah, so those are the type of activities, like pretty much
like
anything
museums too.
in the water. I do like
boring museums.
I do like some museums. They have to make sense. I've been to like contemporary art type of museums, and I was like, this is not for me. I just don't get it.
So like history.
I'm not a history, like, let me find out about history. I'm not like that type of person.
She'll drag me to a museum and read every word on the wall.
It's like, since we're here, I might as well learn something. But okay, actually, I mean, maybe I do. I like culture. I think that's what it is. So like how people lived at a different time, like what was important to them. I like learning more about that because I think that's fascinating and interesting. So it's not like the historical part, but it's more like the, what is it called? Like anthropology, kind of like the ways in which people lived and worked and played and
too early
all of
for
that.
5-syllable words.
Anthropology. I think that's it. Y'all correct me if that's not it. But yeah, I like doing that kind of thing. And so that is why I would like a museum type of thing.
Museums are not for me. I just want, if I go to a museum, I just want to walk through at a steady pace and just see it all, and then we can leave.
Okay. But I'm like, what is it? Why is it here? And so I have to read and find out. But my other thing, and you know this, probably should have been at the top of my list, is food. I absolutely love, different foods from different places, and just like that's part of the how people live and how they like what's important to them, all that. So that's kind of like a cultural element that I really, really enjoy exploring.
She ain't smile at me the whole time she started talking about food, showing all her teeth.
Well, I mean, I really enjoy that, but you know that. So that would be probably like the other important element. And as far as like who to travel with, like you're my favorite travel partner.
Oh,
by far.
Oh.
And
would you go with friends or no?
Yeah, I would go with friends. Definitely.
Your ideal perfect vacation, you would go with friends. One shot
probably,
to have your perfect vacation, friends or no?
Maybe like another couple, but not like a group.
You wouldn't do a group, so just one other couple.
I think so. And the reason why is because I've gone on group trips, even with friends. Yeah. And I feel like there's always like this push and pull of like, oh, well, this interests you. Like, because people like to shop, and that's not my thing. And I'm like, I can absolutely not ever step into a store and be fine on this vacation.
But do you think that's because you're not comfortable with being like, no, I'm not going?
I don't like conflict, and so I'll just go along, and then I end up doing something for a few hours I don't want to do. You know, like,
I'll just be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Y'all will really enjoy that.
Yeah, you
I sit
like
here on my balcony,
go
by myself.
Enjoy. So for me, it's just that push and pull of like the different like ideas of fun, and some people want to relax by lounging. Some people want to relax by shopping or by going to do all the things. And sometimes I just don't feel like doing those things, and I'm not a confrontational person. So I'll be like, oh, okay, sure. Not really wanting to do it. Like if it were my vacation. Yeah. Okay. Whereas I think you and I think we understand one another. And there is some give and take there too. But I think that we understand one another. So it's like, okay, I know that on this trip I need to make time to do these type of things because I know that's what Vernon likes. He knows I like to do this, so he's gonna leave me alone for a few hours so I could just like lay out and do nothing. It's not baking, baby. I'm reading. Okay. Reading.
So couples trip, not a group trip.
Just dream vacation. Yeah. I'm going back and forth on like, is it just us?
I think what she's coming to is she don't want a vacation with y'all. I think that's what she's saying.
Okay. Dream vacation.
One shot to have your perfect vacation.
One shot, it's going to be just us.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, why do you think that's awesome?
Because you want a vacation with me. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, I want always. But even if it was a group, it would still be with you.
Yeah, but I mean, Barcelona, I don't know that you were too high. You were too high.
We're going to redo Barcelona. Okay. We're going to redo Barcelona. Okay. That would be good. So where do you want to travel next? Like, what's on your list?
Let's do international. We're talking about domestic. Dream vacation. Yeah. Now you're saying, where do I want to travel next? Because those two things are
they're different.
So which one do you want?
Where do you want to travel next?
Next for me,
international and domestic.
So domestically, Lake Tahoe.
Definitely.
Because I've heard amazing things about it. I've seen amazing pictures.
Yeah.
And I kind of fantasize about like lake life and what that would look like. It's something that I don't think we often see in our community specifically.
Yeah.
But I would like to try it out and see, like, get a place with a boat and see what that whole thing is like.
Yeah.
And, we've been working on the kids being able to swim, so the kids will probably come. But I think that's really important. And then just to see if we enjoy that or if that's a lifestyle that we want to keep. So Lake Tahoe, if it was domestic, where is that?
It's
Nevada?
Utah. It's kind of like in the corner. So
west, somewhere over there?
Yeah, the western part of the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lake Tahoe. And then internationally, my next trip. Let's see. We're coming into winter. I've been talking about Bali for a long time.
You have.
Because I think it's a really cultured place.
Yeah.
I think it's a cheap place to vacation.
Yeah.
And they just have some amazing things. I was watching a show on, I think, Netflix about amazing Airbnbs, and they just had some awesome places to stay. Now, I do think it's really hot and really humid, so I may end up like really regretting that decision. But Bali, or if I had to choose something a little bit less exotic, it would be, what's the sea town over in Italy?
Oh my gosh! Until you
Amalfi Coast.
There you go.
Amalfi Coast, somewhere over there.
Yeah, and
then I can sneak over to Rome too, because that's pretty close.
Yeah.
So, yes, because I love Rome. We've been to Rome once.
Rome was amazing.
Rome was awesome. But yeah, Amalfi Coast or Bali, one of those two.
Okay.
What about for you?
I love that.
You got Japan on there?
Japan is definitely on there.
For your next trip?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it may not be my next trip, but if I were to choose, it would be, I want to go to Tokyo. Specifically, I don't know, it just seems like such a cool place, and I don't even think they have an ocean, which is kind of weird for me. But
so your next trip you would do Tokyo?
Yeah, why not?
Because there's other places that are probably more viable that you would go.
I mean, this is to say next, and then the next after that could be all the other places. It's just, for some reason, I've just really wanted to go to Japan, and Japanese culture is fascinating.
Is that a Japanese shirt?
It is kind of like Asian influenced with the high collar and the flowers and stuff. Interesting. I didn't even think about that, but their culture is like fascinating. There's like a lot of beautiful aspects to it.
Is it?
Like they believe in beauty and nature and all of that kind of stuff. It's
very peaceful. Like that's a really big part, I think.
That's what I imagine it like. Not necessarily Tokyo, but I want that to be part of the vacation, but I would love to like explore some other parts of Japan too. It just seems like very different and very, I think I would like it. I think I would like it a lot.
I don't know if I would risk a whole vacation on Tokyo.
And you like Japanese food, babe. That changed your, you see, it just changed.
No. But then also, like, what we understand to be Japanese food, I don't think it's Japanese food.
I think it's Japanese food.
So?
Yeah. I think they got some hibachi over there.
Okay, I'm in. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, it's like, there's like, I can't think of a reason that I wouldn't like it. Other than we would be the only people that look like us there.
You never know. Nah, we know.
Japan is full of Japanese people.
Yeah. What about domestically? Where would you go?
Lake Tahoe.
Really?
You got that idea from me.
I did, but that doesn't mean we'll be on the same page about what
No, I want to go to. Okay,
I don't think you're thinking about really next. I think you're just thinking about where would be cool to go.
That's actually what I'm thinking, but that's where I am right now. So, because I don't know what's next. I don't know. Next might be like, I don't know, Atlanta, where we're from.
Vacation.
Exactly. So, like, where do we go next, or where do we go to vacation?
Denver.
Bahamas would be on my list.
It's not domestic, is it?
No, but as far as like a next trip, that's like a hop, skip, jump. It's not like, man, when we were cruised, where we stopped in Nassau?
Oh yeah. Where was that place I want to go? The
Atlantis.
That place looks really cool.
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
I've been there before. It is amazing. So that might be an actual next. I went with my family. Okay. My mom and dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure you weren't over there with Jerome.
Anyway, and then domestically would be Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
And the reason why, interestingly enough, I've Googled best places in the U.S. to visit. Every single time, every single list, Lake Tahoe is number one.
I might change mine.
Why?
Well, I do want to go to Lake Tahoe, but I've also heard like awesome things about the west coast of California.
Okay.
And how there's like mountains, and you go a little bit lower, there's beaches. You go a little bit lower, there's wineries, and like being able to. I know we've seen the wineries, but not the mountains and the skiing up there. Did we?
Well, not the skiing, but we did
the big trees,
the redwood forest. So we went when we remember
mountains.
But remember where we went? I don't even know how we got there, but there was a beach. I was with you. You don't remember. You never remember stuff.
Raul?
I don't know. It was you. Okay. It was Vernon.
Okay.
So there was an ocean, but right behind, like it was mountains. It was ocean, beach, and then right behind the beach.
Snow-topped mountains?
I don't think they were snow-topped.
I'm not talking about big hills.
They were mountains, but they weren't.
When I say mountains, I mean like snow on top, like skiing and stuff.
So it's not a mountain if there's no snow.
It's just a big hill. Every big mountain has snow on top. Literally, like Everest has snow.
Okay.
Right.
It's also like in a different, like it's like northern, right? Anyway,
California coast, and then I've seen some of the winding roads next to the cliffs, and I think that would be really cool.
It's terrifying, but it's pretty.
As long as you're not driving.
Yeah, I am not driving. Absolutely not.
But okay. Yeah, so either Lake Tahoe or the California coast.
Okay.
And then internationally, you're saying Japan or Bahamas.
No, you added some of yours in there, but that's cool.
Oh, I mean, Bahamas is cheaper than where I was going to go, so it's cheaper than Bali.
We'll keep Bali on the list. Maybe that's like Bali. A couple years from now. And Sedona, Arizona, or Phoenix. Arizona seems like a cool place. Yeah, it is a cool desert. But hot. It's hot, but they have like spas and like relaxation type stuff, and they're very like zen. So I think that would be cool.
I think the desert is a great place for a girls trip.
You're not gonna come with me? You might actually love it though.
In the desert?
You might love it. You don't go in the middle of the summer. Okay. That would be an awful time to go.
It sounds like an awful time anytime you go to a desert.
No, I've heard. Well, again, it's like number 2 on the list of places to go in the U.S. So those are my 2.
Okay.
But there's so much to see here. I feel like I've seen more of other places than I have of our own country.
And the reason for that would be, when we first got married, we came upon a companion pass.
Yeah.
In which, for those of you who don't know what a companion pass is, it's like a promotional thing that airlines give you, in which wherever you travel, whatever ticket you buy, you can bring somebody along for free.
Yeah.
So I don't know when it was in our marriage, but we got a companion pass, and so we're traveling all over the U.S. We went to
be like 2015.
California, I think that was when we went to.
Yeah.
We might have gone to Vegas too. Like we went all over the U.S.
Yeah.
And then it's coming around October, and I feel really accomplished because my wife loves to travel, and we have traveled all over this great nation of the United States. And my wife utters out of her lips, "Well, are we going to take any trips this year? Because we haven't traveled." And I looked at her, and this was not a loving look at all. I apologize. I was so disgusted. But what I came to find out is that if it's not international, it doesn't count. So since we've had this epiphany, I said, I ain't taking you nowhere in the U.S. So if it's not international, we ain't going unless we got to go for family or something.
I've matured, okay? I have more of a longing to see this great nation and see what's here. And yeah, I've developed a new love for smaller towns too. So now that we live here, like it's a charm that comes with like some of the smaller towns, maybe some of the rural areas. It's just I don't know.
Away from your bougie.
I know, like who am I? I don't even recognize myself. But but yeah. So okay, back to this dream vacation.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so when you're talking about ocean, it has an ocean. It has to have fun activities to do, so it can't just be just like boring. Yeah, and it has to have food.
For me, I've always wanted to go to what's the place with the overwater places?
There's a few. There's some.
The real one, the Maldives.
There you go.
The Maldives seems like an amazing place. Just Google like videos of the Maldives.
Those overwater bungalows,
breathtaking. Yeah, overwater bungalows are breathtaking. But that's all that's there to do there, and so. With a vacation like that, I feel like I would enjoy it for the first couple of days, but then I would be miserable. And I don't know if they have Wi-Fi.
Well, and we don't know what else is there is to do there. Or have you looked that up?
I have.
Oh, okay.
It's not like you're literally on an island,
and you're just there in your bungalow.
Sit there and eat.
I always wonder what happens if it rains.
You get wet.
No, that's not my ideal fun. That's not it for me.
So we talked about
Yeah.
the dream vacation.
Yeah.
Now the question I have is, I think as a society, we often think about vacationing or retiring as this great moment at the end in which we can do things and enjoy life. And, that's what we're trying to aspire to. But there's no rule that says you can't enjoy your life now.
Right.
So what components of your vacation or your dream vacation could you do in your life right now without perhaps even taking off work? Like, set aside the whole work thing. You got to work. You got to make your money. Okay, you're going to have to do that. But what parts of your vacation could you do on the weekend, or could you do after work to bring a little vacation into your everyday life?
That's a really good question, because we live, like, where we are, we do have access to lakes anyway. We don't have, the ocean's about 4 hours away.
In the backyard? You talking about that lake?
Not that one, but like, the reservoir is
yeah.
It's not a real lake. But it's a reservoir. It looks like a lake. It's a reservoir.
You can't boat in that, can you?
People boat. We always see boats in there.
For water? Like drinking water?
But people are literally always in there. I'm not swimming in there because I've also seen gators. So there's that.
I've seen one gator.
It's enough. I mean, there's more.
The baby one.
There could be more. I'm just not trying to find out. So,
so
I'm good on that. But like, just maybe going to a spot, take a lounge chair out there and just like read my book. That might be something. But if the kids are there, then that's a mute point. So there's no reading. There's no silence.
Well, I mean, right now the kids are in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So are you planning on spending any time, quote unquote, vacationing here? Or are you going to work yourself to death?
Not to death, but I hadn't planned any time away, which, thanks to this conversation, could change.
Okay. Bonus question.
You have to answer the question too.
Okay. What's the question?
Like, what can you do in your like more regular life to incorporate vacation elements? So you already have your laptop, so you do that all the time. So you're always on vacation.
The issue with like sitting outside is I like sitting outside with air condition, and it doesn't hit the same if I have to pay for the air condition.
Okay,
that's an issue. Although I really do enjoy sitting on our front or back porch when it's not like direct sunlight.
Yeah.
But I just wish I can add in the air condition without the cost of it. Oh. So that's one thing.
Okay.
A second thing would be, I guess I really haven't given where we live a chance to kind of find activities.
Yeah.
I kind of just chalk it up to there's nothing to do, but I'm sure there are some things to do.
I've seen kayaking.
Even a couple weeks ago, I was looking at Sur La Table to do like cooking classes like they did in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We used to do cooking classes, and like we did a glass blowing class, like just finding stuff like that.
Like
I think would be really fun.
Day trips?
Not even day trips, because it's not that far. It's like just in Jackson, right?
Well, the glass blowing is not. I think that's in like Meridian or Hattiesburg or something.
Got a fireplace and some sand. You could do it at home.
Okay, sir. No, we're not doing that.
But yeah, just spending and putting forth more time to create those experiences, because I think, and it's not to blame it on the kids, but I think as your kids get older, you tend to think more about what they want to do more so than the things that you want to do. Yeah. And I think we, and I specifically, could do a better job of finding those types of outings and fun things to do, like more like what we used to.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be good. Maybe we should look up something for this weekend.
You should. And leads me into my next question is, we haven't talked over a few weeks about this, but are you Sabbathing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are you prepared?
I don't know, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I've been really, and we did some travel recently, and I did Saturday. That Saturday was like pretty busy, so I didn't consider that the Sabbath. But I did Sabbath on Sunday.
Okay.
I don't think I told you, but I was like, I'm resting.
So I apparently was not a part of this experience, but okay.
I am resting. No, but seriously, I made a concerted effort to we went to church.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It was pretty chill.
Okay. Well,
took the
I
kids
think
to
it's
the
really
pool.
important that you communicate about a Sabbath, because I was like sitting in the house like, why aren't we doing nothing?
Oh.
I don't even think we were talking that day that much.
I was talking. Anyway.
But so in this episode, we talked a little bit about traveling, and we want to hear from you. Like, what is your idea of a travel? And I don't want you to just like come up with whatever comes on the top of your mind, but spend some time thinking and thinking outside of the box to say, where in the world could I go if money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, if I could do or see anything, what is one thing that I wish I could see?
Yeah, and we would love to know, now that you know kind of like our highlights and what we need in our vacation, if you have recommendations of places that we could go that would incorporate those things.
That are cheap.
Or not. You know, because we budget for that now.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get back to that, actually. Anyway, we would love to hear from you. So, is this it? That's the end?
Yeah.
Well, that's the end, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for Conversations at the Well. Again, I'm Desiree Brown, and this is
Vernon Brown.
And we are so glad that you came. Bye.
See you soon.